men, right? Most men, what they tend to do is they lift the heaviest weights. नहीं उठ रहा है ना, तो भी they'll like try to just go for it, right? And I think that mentality translates to their general life as well. Like, just give it all you have, and then we'll see the result. It's not like they don't have a sense of balance. It's not like I will like compartmentalize. Oh, I've just been talking to her for like 3 days. Maybe I should like lessen it out. No, give it all I have, and hope for the best.
And hope for the best. And when we start reciprocating, then what happens? Hello everyone, welcome to She Ready podcast. This is your host Amalika. After 2 years, I finally decided to do another dating episode with another Sid. In this episode, we discussed or scratched the surface of a lot of modern dating problems like love bombing and ghosting and telling your date what kind of communication method you prefer. Is it calling, is it texting, or voice notes, anything. So yeah, we had a lot of fun recording this. Let us know if you would want Sid and I to do more episodes on dating. If there's a specific question on your mind, you're going through something and you want someone's perspective on it, or maybe you just want to share it, please feel free to DM us on @SheReadyPodcast, and he and I would love to talk to you about it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and let's get into it. So today I have Sid with me, and we're both going to discuss things that women want to know from men or about men. I'm going to start with very simple questions, and then we'll go to the tougher, hard-hitting questions, okay? Sure. First one is very simple, very basic.
Not nervous at all.
Do you think three fingers are too much? What?
Not difficult at all. You were right. Very simple.
3 fingers are enough?
For
I don't
me?
know. Most people have 10. Good one.
Well played. Well played.
I know. Chalo, theek hai again. What is the male equivalent of receiving flowers?
Well, I could say receiving flowers too, because
Guys like that?
why can't? Yeah, of course.
But do you guys like it?
I have received flowers in all my life only once,
Same.
and that's so sad. We'll change that.
Koi cut.
But yeah, I went on this date I think a couple of years ago, and I was pleasantly surprised because who expects it, right? And she comes out with like a nice long sunflower. I kept it till the end of the date with me, and
Did you dry it or no?
no, I did not. I didn't know all of that. At that point, I did not know.
So coming back to the thing, like
I would say it's
male equivalent is the same as receiving flowers, or do you guys would like something else?
Well, gesturally speaking, because we don't get that many flowers, there are things that there's so many things that you all can do that we like. So, for example, if you're like walking on the road, just a simple gesture of like grabbing someone by the hand, like putting your hand around his arm,
Like this.
like that, exactly,
Okay.
like on the inside, and that would feel amazing. But yeah, I think that for me that would be the equivalent of receiving flowers.
And what would be the male equivalent of a forehead kiss? I think it's very cute.
It is super cute. Oh, I got a good one. I'll tell you.
What is-
So when you're cuddling, right? When you're spooning, and you're the big spoon, and
You are the big spoon.
the guy is the big
Okay.
spoon, and when she would like turn around and like snuggle into like a protective thing, so you form like a cocoon outside
Oh,
her.
that's cute.
Yeah, that would be like our equivalent, because you melt when someone does that. Like, I will die for her, like anything. So yeah,
Wow. I'm thinking if I have ever done that, or if a guy ever reacted like
you have to be
that.
a little. You have to date a guy who's like very tall, like height differential. hona
I
chahiye.
do that
and
anyway.
you're a tall person, so I mean, how tall are you?
5'4". 5'4",
Decently tall.
5'5",
Decently
yeah.
tall. And
By Indian standards, it's okay.
yeah, by Indian
think.
standards, you're tall. By any standards, I'm tall.
Okay. Stop looking into my diary. Don't
Sorry.
see the questions.
I'm not trying to hack this.
Yeah. Do you know anything about the sidewalk rule? And do you ever do it?
I do, and I make it a point to always follow it, even with friends, not just with dates.
You've never done this with me, by the way, ever. तुमने कभी नहीं किया है कि मैं ये चलो मर जाए.
You are lying in the face of your audience.
When did you do that?
Every single time we have been out. Every single time.
No.
Mount Mary night.
Only Mount Mary.
Short, when we were walking on the road. The first time that...
Short, when did we walk on the road?
Okay, short we did not walk on the road. But in that area we walked, if you remember, we were meeting Aina and Ritvik. And that time you were walking on the road. That time I put you inside. I have always done it.
No, we didn't go to short. We go to
Get
school
out.
when...
Get out.
A lot of... most of
so
my...
this brings me to a very important topic. Men do not get credit for the things they do. Just saying.
I did not... I don't remember. I didn't remember. Okay. But none of my dates... Only one date has ever explicitly done it.
Next question.
Now, the only time the one guy did was he explicitly said that, hey, do you want to move inside? And I was like, yeah.
I feel that you should be smooth enough to not even ask, but that's just me.
Like
it should because sometimes a girl can feel awkward. The girl will be like, fuck off, I can handle my own traffic.
Yeah, that's true. True. But I think it was the first date and he was just like being very cautious that instead of just trying to do it by himself.
Have you seen how smoothly I do it?
Yeah, please.
So that's how you do it, right?
कि नोटिस में ही नहीं आए.
हाँ,
but आना चाहिए कभी कभार नोटिस में यार.
You don't do it for glory, right? You just do it because you do it, because you care. Okay.
So some of these questions came from
Guys?
People that we asked on Instagram.
Okay.
Or like people who had asked me on Spotify. So like Spotify has a feature where they can send in their questions.
Cool.
So some of these questions is from our audience. So now we'll start doing some of that, okay? 5 non-sexual things women do that men find attractive. Now I have heard some of these little things like a girl trying to take out something from like a higher shelf. Like some guys find that for some reason they just find it attractive when you like do that. Or you're like getting ready and you're looking at yourself in the mirror.
5, huh?
Yeah.
Non-sexual things that girls do that we find attractive.
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to my mind would be if a girl is wearing like a lehenga. What is it called? A lehenga, right?
Yeah.
With a twirl.
You find her attractive.
That's like just beautiful. It's just outright. It's like looking at a rainbow. A rainbow is attractive, right? So it doesn't have to be sexual attractive. Right?
Non-sexual things that women do.
Right.
5 non-sexual things.
So that twirl. Okay, if a woman has glasses and she's like in her
element.
Like in her like, how do I put it? Like she's the most comfortable self. Like in maybe her nightwear, and she's reading a book. For me, that image is like whoa, like downing a beer. Yeah, straight off. That is like wow, yeah.
You can swallow.
Huh? Yeah, that's okay. Well, that too. I personally find eyeliners very attractive, but then that's again an appearance sort of a thing, maybe.
But it's
like
still
a girl
non-sexual.
could wear nothing and come with just, I mean, not nothing, but like she could wear, but just eyeliners. You know what I mean?
Eyes.
Okay, this is gonna sound very corny, but like laughing out loud, really loud, like no one gives a shit. Like just, it is very rare to see a girl laugh like a guy. Just like laughing her lungs out. And I've seen that like once or twice, and
really?
Immediately my like wherever I was, my attention just went there.
But I also do that.
How can I be kind about this? Laughing.
Mean you are.
Not squeaking. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm very happy I came to 5. I thought I'll get stuck at 3.
One very important question that a lot of people asked. Where do men find audacity?
Be audacious about that question, Monica.
बताओ कहाँ से लाते हो?
So you see, we have this extra body part that we all don't, okay? It's called the brain.
Cool. Okay. So this question some people did ask this question.
Okay.
I do not ever understand why people ask this question.
Alright.
Who should pay for the first date? I think this question has been asked too many times, and I think it's always like split the bill.
Alright. I think the answer is very simple. I love 50 Cent's answer on this. Okay, there's a video that I came across a while ago. This dude looks at the camera straight and he goes,
Look at it and say it.
whoever's idea it was to go on the first date. And I find that so refreshing. I mean, yes, why does it matter? Like, fuck gender roles, fuck splitting even. I mean, if you are chasing a girl, then you pay for the bill. If the girl is chasing you, she pays for the bill. So whoever's idea it was to go on the first date, that person pays for the bill. But I think that's a very Western concept. Like in India, it's still not caught on. I think we're barely catching up to splitting. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
I always split.
We are the cream of the cream of the cream. We are in Mumbai Metro, South Bombay. So it's like it's and all the trends have like caught on very like way too fast.
True.
But I invite you to go to, say for example, a smaller city like Indore, and you would find it a very different vibe. Like Indore, Bhopal, anywhere.
No, I think wahan pe still there is like split the bill.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I would be surprised.
I haven't been on a date.
I went to
in any
Delhi
of
and
the
I did not
cities.
split the bill. Yeah.
That was Delhi.
Yeah. Fair.
Do you want to tell everyone that story?
The Delhi story. So the story is that I went to Delhi for some work, and I decided to use Bumble out there, as we all do. And I was swiping, and well, we all have heard the stereotypes, okay? And I am not to function on stereotypes, but I was keeping like a cautiously optimistic viewpoint about it. So, sorry. I went out with this girl. I kid you not. Yaar. Okay, firstly, the entire vibe was very off. Like, there was no conversational points, okay? Whatever. When the time to split the bill came, she got up and she left to the left. She's like, हाँ ये pay करके आ जाएगा. She's like waiting. What are you doing? Come no. What do I say at that point?
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, cool.
Were you like pissed? Not pissed, but like you were like, oh
I
god,
was
like
not angry, but I was disappointed. I was
Yeah.
like, what was I doing? Why did I swipe her right? And why did I like match with her? You know?
I think it's always nice when the guy offers like, oh, I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
But it's just like gesture wise, it's fine. Otherwise, I'm always like, no, let's split the bill. चाहे वो कितना भी छोटा bill ही क्यों ना हो.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or like I'm like you taking care of the bill here, and if we know for a fact that we're going somewhere else after this, then
Exactly.
I'll be like, okay, it's okay if you pay here, I'll pay there.
Yeah, exactly. You buy the movie tickets, I buy the food.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And I think after you've been together for a long time, then it doesn't matter like who's
then it
picking
really
up the
doesn't.
tab.
Then it really
doesn't.
Then it's our money.
Yeah.
You know my credit card pins. I know your account numbers.
Too much.
No.
Are you mad?
I would function like that in a marriage. You wouldn't?
Marriage, yes, but
Yeah.
in a
Oh,
relationship.
in a relationship, no.
No,
I was
no.
like talking about.
And in general, like I don't think I would ever like share passwords also.
Oh yeah, fuck no. No. Okay, so iCloud has this feature like if you die, who gets your account access?
That is fine.
Okay.
But I'm not like, why do we need to share passwords?
Of course not, 200% not. My phone password maybe yes, because say if I'm like paralyzed or something and she wants to call my mom, she can. But
Yeah, phone password, yeah, still.
but no, not Instagram.
Yeah,
not like
why
social
is there
media.
a need for us
Absolutely
to do
not.
that? If you completely trust the person and अब कुछ हो रहा है तो हो रहा है, you know, like even if you know the password, can you stop it? No.
Exactly. The
So
control never got anyone loyalty.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, fuck password.
Okay. I have some like dating questions now, like when people are dating.
Alright.
Why do most men tend to love bomb you at first, and as soon as you reciprocate, ghost you?
That is such a relevant question. Okay, firstly I must say, did that come from the audience?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a few friends who like share their dating life with me, and it is the prevalent thing.
Yeah.
It just happens, and I didn't know it was so common, right?
Because men tend to love bomb. Women do not do that.
So it is like, the most cliched image that comes to mind, right? is that have you ever seen dogs running behind a car? What
But you're not telling me.
What do they do once the car stops?
They also stop.
They also stop. So I
But
think
like it's not. This is not helping me understand why were you doing it. Like why were you playing with someone's emotions?
I'm coming there.
And why did you want me to? I'm just frustrated. I'm looking at all cameras, and we are just frustrated when you do it. My theory is that you want us to be interested in you, or you're just constantly giving us attention to see if you will get it back, or you're just seeing where this goes. You're not actually into us. You're into the conversation, or you're into seeing where this is going. But it's not about Amolika. It's about.
I feel you. I think you're very right in that, and it's not you per se. Like it's not because you are like
I am something.
The object of their desire.
Yeah.
But I just had an epiphany about how men function. Okay, have you ever seen men training for like Olympics, or have you ever seen men gymming?
Yeah.
Right.
Hot.
Most men, what they tend to do is they lift the heaviest weights. नहीं उठ रहा है ना, तो भी they'll like try to just go for it, right? And they would just give it their best shot, and I think that mentality translates to their general life as well. Like, just give it all you have, and then we'll see the result. It's not like they don't have a sense of balance. It's not like I will like compartmentalize. Oh, I've just been talking to her for like 3 days. Maybe I should like lessen it out. No, give it all I have, and hope for the best.
Hope for the best, and when we start reciprocating, then what happens?
That is a mystery. That is a mystery to me.
For you also?
Yeah, because I in my history I can't recall having done that myself. I am the usually one who gets ghosted.
No.
So yeah, but what do you mean? No, I do.
Achha, okay.
Yeah. But I definitely have love bombed, yes, but not. But even my bombing, I've seen what you have told me, the stories. I've seen what my friends have told me. I think my bombing is also like more like bullets, not bombs. It's like lesser, but yeah, like I sort of keep it going. Like I keep shooting till the person is like obliterated.
But it's still okay. Someone does that. Ab to feelings catch कर ली because he was like constantly texting, calling, meeting.
Right.
What do I do now?
I think adapt. You can't control what men can do. You can control what you can do. So my advice to you would be the same that I would give to myself. Like if a girl is not treating me right, I can't tell her to make me treat me right. So in that situation, now if you know there's a pattern, if you know guys do this, adapt your behavior to not take the initial love bombing that seriously. Like you know that it is a pattern. Like you're matched with 20 guys, 18 of them love bomb you. Then maybe not take it too seriously initially.
And if you don't, then they leave.
Fuck them. Leave them. It doesn't matter.
Because you know what, now because I've been so used to love bombing, now if anyone makes an effort, I'm like, is he love bombing or is genuinely making an effort?
The consistent guy will keep making an effort. The consistent guy who really wants you.
What is the period of consistency? Like, what are we, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
That's for you to decide. I mean, you could be brutal and say he's got to be consistent for like 6 months, but then that's pushing it. But I think usually love bombing would be like, I don't think any guy has more patience than a week. Like he'll probably like maybe 2 weeks, and then they'll start feeling off. This is if going under the assumption that you are not reciprocating. A non-reciprocal love bombing for 2 weeks is like okay, but then also that leads me to a very different territory of like say stalkers and like creeps, right? Because someone who's like constantly texting you without bothering about a response, and he does it like for months on end, is scary. Like, what do you do?
Nah, that is creepy. Like, that's annoying. So, okay, I don't care. I've already muted that chat. So, like, no.
No wonder you're not replying.
वाहियात रील अकाउंट का नाम उससे भेजोगे तो I am not.
यार quality content था, ठीक है?
So, is this the chase what keeps men going?
It does, as I said, with the dog analogy, right? I think it's initially the thrill of like wanting to achieve something, and once you have done it, on to the next achievement. But that's kind of...
That's so like...
It is, but then it's also like, if you've been dating for a while, I think dating is all about spotting like the bad fish and like the bad apples. It's not about like wooing the other person or charming the other person or like getting your best game on. All that is for the second or third date. The key is like to spot like the bad apples in like the first date and how good you are at it. And there's no one who can teach you that. You have to learn from that from your own patterns.
Of course. You have to go on
see
as many.
because people treat you in a manner that they treat you, right? The same people might treat me differently, right? But Amalika's patterns will be your patterns, and you can calibrate your behavior based on those patterns. That's something that I've done. Like I know for a fact that I'm very gullible, okay? So, and I know someone's being super nice to me, this thing gets super alarmed. I'm like, okay, this person either wants something from me or is going to take advantage of me. So then automatically my alarm bells start ringing. Earlier I would be like, oh, this person's so sweet. You know what? Yeah, iPhone now. Okay, yeah, of course. Example, but you get it.
I get it.
So I calibrated my behavior according to that.
So if someone is constantly chasing, do I not reciprocate at all because I'm like confused that then he lose interest, or like what do I do?
Do what feels right. Honestly, do what feels right. And sometimes the main problem that happens is we tend to continue down a path despite knowing that it's wrong. There's a voice inside you telling you that Amalika, stop. Amalika, he's not interested. He's just playing you. We tend to, negate it. We're like, you know what? Nahi. We tend to negate rationality.
You know what? Now it's very difficult to do this because the kind of guys who are doing this, or the way that they do it in, your gut also, you can't even trust your gut because I think the kind of things they do. So this one time I was love bombed very like 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
I'm seeing this guy. And the kind of things like he would tell me about his parents' health, and I'm seeing their medical reports, and I'm going with him to the hospital. Like I'm doing everything. And for someone to withdraw like that
instantly, okay,
you're not love bombing me with like stupid like, how was your day, what did you do, and you look great today, and I sent you flowers and chocolates. This is like serious, like I'm trying to involve you in my world.
Is that love bombing or is that sympathetic dependence on you? I don't think that's love bombing. From what it sounded like, it sounded like he needed someone.
I'm not talking about this. Let's not think of it as a case study.
Okay.
I'm saying in general, love bombing has evolved so much. For us women also, like if someone is texting and sending me memes and calling me, like for me, now so many people have done it. I know this is love bombing. I do not care about this. But I think the way now that men do it is so advanced to a level where you feel like, he did that thing, and not everyone does that now.
Right.
Not everyone does that. वो कर रहा होता तो फिर वो होता है love bombing, ये थोड़ी ना होता है. This is how we think of it. So when we get that gut feeling, we're like, nobody did that. And of course, like
that is actually,
I am being stupid by not reciprocating because remember he did that one time.
I understand. That is actually brand new piece of information for me too.
Really?
Because I did not know that you all think like that. Like I had no idea that love bombing itself had evolved in your eyes, like in a woman's eyes. I was like, okay.
Because we are used to it now, like those calls and texts.
So now it's about if someone stands out, that is the guy that we pay attention to. Isn't that the case?
Yeah.
So, and men will do everything in their power to stand out, so they will go higher forms of love bombing.
होता ही जा रहा,
Level up.
And the older you get, like 18-19-year-old, of course for you 18 to like say 23, texting and calling is their love bombing because you've just started dating, or you know what I mean. As you grow older, your game gets better, you also get immune to these things, so now you moved on to level 2, and the guys who were with you, they've also moved on to level 2.
I'll tell you one thing. There's one thing I very firmly believe in, okay? There is no end to leveling up, Amalika. There is absolutely no end. To which I have a solution. Love like a kid. And I know it sounds cliche. I know it sounds overdone. But this is something I practice in my life because I tell you it's very simple. Kisne bola hai ki just because you have experienced love in this and this form, that it cannot take place again in this, that and that form exactly again, but from a different person. Us saying that we are immune to it goes to show that maybe we are numb from inside to love because we are like, we want the thrill or like the excitement of something new. But love is not exciting. Love is not exciting. Love is boring. Love is comfort. Love is calm. Right? You get it?
Yeah.
So, I think the problem is that we're chasing excitement.
Yeah.
And when you chase excitement, you tend to end up falling for the one that stands out. And the one that stands out knows what he's doing. He knows that he's love bombing. He knows that he's doing it better than the rest. You don't have to fall for that. You have to see who you feel like most comfortable, most peaceful, and most calm with. And those are the things that maybe 11th standard में जो कर रहे थे love, शायद it exists in the same manner now. But are we willing to like go for that guy?
No, but I like the fact that you said love like a kid.
Yeah.
Because even I'm always like, don't catch feelings, don't catch feelings, don't catch feelings. And I was telling you the other day that I did something
Yeah.
which always leads me to catching feelings. But then I also told myself while doing it that तुम 6 मंजिल से गिरो या 60 मंजिल से गिरो, लगनी तो है ही.
It just depends on how bad the aftermath is.
Yeah, but लगनी तो तुम्हें पता है ना लगेगी.
Yeah.
तुम 6th फ्लोर तक तो पहुंच गए हो.
Yeah.
अब तुम नीचे देख रहे हो तो तुम हो भी सकता है नीचे गिरोगे ही. So it's
100%.
you have to sometimes
Yeah, fall
give
so fall.
in.
Fall fully.
Yeah.
Fall freely, fall
Yeah.
fully.
Yeah. Oh,
That could be the tagline. Fall freely,
Love.
fall fully.
that's very cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope people take something from this.
I really do. Anyone who's listening, love like a kid, fall freely, fall fully.
That's very cute.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to implement it too.
If this guy gives me a chance, then I'll implement.
Yeah. Next question. I'm ready.
I'm not ready, Abhi. She's not ready. Wait.
She's not ready. She's the podcast comedian.
Let's talk a little bit about chivalry. What was something that you were not doing, which I asked you to do? Just last week.
Oh, well, to be perfectly clear, I was doing it. Not very actively.
No. There's some things you...
I hear you.
So, yeah, let's just tell everyone what it was. It's about if you've gone on a date with someone, you have to ask if they made it back home or not. And Sid was like, it's okay. I mean, sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't do it. And I said that if it was a friend in that place, would you do it? And he said, 100%.
Okay, so here's my take on it, okay?
And I think sometimes we need to look at dating like that. Once in a while I don't mind a double text. Because would I think so much if I was texting you? I'd be like, Sid left me seen on Instagram and WhatsApp, but I don't care. I'll call him. But sometimes I think you need to not have an extreme reaction to...
Fuck men. Me, I myself personally, I'm also very wary about the fact that how much is too much, right? Because in that particular space, I'm like, I get it. It's a very normal thing to do, asking someone who has reached home, but it's also like she's perfectly capable of reaching home. So it's like, what am I trying to like impose, or am I trying to like keep tabs? Maybe she's not going home directly. Maybe she's going somewhere else after meeting me, and she's not supposed to like tell me where she's going. It's just a first or second date.
Yeah.
So
You can be like, have you reached your destination? But even if if someone asks me, even if I went somewhere else, I will either text that person saying that, oh, I didn't actually go home, I'm out.
Okay.
Or even if I didn't get home, I'm somewhere else, I'll still be like, oh, I've reached my destination, or yeah, I've reached home. Whatever it is, uska kaam kitna tha jana that I've reached in a safe place. I think. Because that was his intention, right? Like, are you in a safe place now?
Cool. I understand.
This is what I'm thinking. Maybe guys do not think of this at all. Maybe they do not care if I made it back home safely or not.
No, I care.
You're a friend. You care.
I care.
Now and this was I never liked it when I went on a date with someone and they did not ask me. And I told my life coach that I don't like it. And she said, why don't you tell them when you reach home?
Okay.
So just text them saying that, hey, I reached home.
Right.
Maybe they didn't ask you, but now they would know.
Okay.
Now you set an expectation, and this is a very small thing. I've reached home. Maybe they didn't ask, so tum bol do. And now I do it, and since I've started doing this,
They ask. It's a behavior adjustment on their end.
Yes.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want something once in a while, just you do it. Because I always don't believe in mirroring behavior.
Right.
It's like a dance, like kabhi aage, kabhi piche, kabhi aage, kabhi piche.
For sure.
And you should do things that you expect the other person to do for you.
I agree to an extent.
In dating, I feel like that. Like, if I want you to send me memes, probably I'll start sending it to you first. If I want you to call me, I won't call him then 5 times. I'll call him 1 or 2 times. If he doesn't reciprocate,
Yes, there's
then
a
leave
limit
it.
to everything.
There's a limit.
There's a limit to everything.
But I won't be like, I'll only do it when he does it. I'll only do it when he does it. Ek do baar I'll take an initiative.
I think it's
Because you can't always be like,
yeah.
he has to text me first. No.
Yeah, I think it's about striking a fine balance between making sure that you're not being super calculative about who's doing first, who's doing second, but also at the same time understanding that there's a reciprocal energy to the whole equation. Like if when you strike that fine balance, it's fine if I double texted you, sure.
Yeah.
Because maybe sometimes you double text me. But if I'm texting you 7 days a week, every time, good morning or whatever, and not even once you text me, and the seventh day I don't text you and we don't talk that day, then that's like maybe there's something wrong with that equation. So it's about striking that balance where you're like, it should be reciprocal as well, but at the same time you're not super calculative about it. You're like, okay, you're sure, sometimes I will check up on her twice or thrice, how does it matter? Because you have that sense of security and comfort that if you were on a bad day, you're sure that she would do the same for you, you know? So, yeah. That
And
balance
do
is
you
very
think-
important. I
How
feel.
do you think you create that balance? Because it's not easy to have that equation with everyone.
A lot of self-security. You have to be really okay with the fact that sometimes people will not behave the way you want them to, and you have to be okay to let them go in that situation. I'm talking about initial dates. I'm not talking about like 7-year-long friendships. But in those situations, you have to just be like, sure, I was and you have to be super objective about situations and realize when you're mistreated. When you're mistreated, you cannot make excuses for them. You cannot make excuses for them, and you cannot write off their behavior as them having a bad day or them having. You having a bad day is not an excuse for mistreating me.
Yeah,
And
of
the
course.
other way around. So
And if I wouldn't do that to a friend or my parent or a colleague,
then
well,
what gives you the right
yeah.
to do it to your date as well?
Yeah.
And the same thing. So when you become good at recognizing that, then you help. You ask me that how do you strike that balance? So when you become good at realizing it objectively, then the balance comes very naturally, because then you're not playing games in your own head. Because I think this is like you're supposed to be playing tennis. Like I hit one, you hit one, but you end up playing squash. You're just playing against the wall. So
That's a good.
tennis, not squash,
That's a good analogy.
basically.
I like that.
So yeah.
Where is the right one?
Where is the right one?
This is the
Would
first
be-
question I got, guys. Like, this is the first question I got as soon as I put up the Instagram story. Where is the right one?
Coffee shop, movie theater, library.
वैसे जवाब मत दो तुम.
Hold on.
हम जाते हैं.
I'm coming.
हम तो जाते हैं वहाँ पे.
There's a sub layering to this answer.
हम तो किराने की दुकान में भी जाके देखते हैं कि क्या पता रिन
भैया.
इंटरसेक्शन में कोई भैया मिल जाए भैया.
Of course, if you're doing household shopping, green flag.
Now you get it.
But strategies you'll employ. Well, this is what I say, right? You know this thing that a lot of people express this emotion that it is very hard to make new friends as you get older. Right? I would also like to relate it to the fact that it's also harder to find love as you get older.
Of course.
Right? And so then, if you're comparing apples to apples, what is it that makes it so easy for us to make friends or find love at a younger age? And
You're packed with people like condiments.
yes, and you go there repeatedly again and again and again, right? You have no option but to see the same 45 bunch of people for 6 years of your life. You are going to find love, you are going to have your heartbreaks, you're going to make the best friends there. The reason I said theater, library, cafes is that we are so packed in our jobs, in our gyms, in our work. We don't go to these places except for like a one-off once a week or twice a month. But imagine if you were going to a coffee shop every day for a month. You're bound to run into regulars, you're bound to have a meet cute. And guess what? A friend of mine actually did.
She or he, like,
She actually did go to a coffee shop, not with this agenda. She would be working, and eventually, you know how eyes meet, and now she's like sort of talking to this person who's also regular at the coffee shop. And that whole experience made me understand that all we have to do is just be regular at any particular location. Now, if you like running, go to the same track, but at the same time, because you want to meet the same set of people and again and again. And because otherwise it's very rare. You're not going to find love randomly walking on Carter's Road. It's like, who knows, right? But yeah.
Which is why I'm excited to go to WeWork next month. Like I'm gonna start going to WeWork next month.
And you're gonna go there regularly.
Yeah,
oh, that's
with
awesome.
work,
That's
like,
awesome.
I have to.
That might work for you.
वहाँ पे कोई cute
Then we won't work anymore.
6 feet.
Well, those are green. What are your green flags? Like for women, what are women's biggest green flags?
Emotional availability.
Okay.
Definitely. Empathy.
But if it comes in a package of 5'8", then it doesn't count. I love the pause. I love the pause.
If women, some of my girlfriends, like, if they are short, they're okay with that height. Like, they also don't want a 6 feet guy. Because they are also like, pictures अच्छी नहीं आएंगी यार, मतलब.
But some women think long term. They're like, बच्चे छोटे पैदा होंगे.
इतने नहीं, but you know what guys, इतना नहीं होता है, you know.
Okay. They don't really care now.
No, it's not that. Jeans में मतलब इतनी भी नहीं होएंगी कि कोई एकदम वो husband 5'8" है तो जरूरी नहीं कि बच्चा भी 5'7", 5'8" रह जाएगा. Have you not seen guys?
It's the recessive and the dominant gene, right?
I know that.
So if both of us get a recessive gene, the kid will be Tyrion Lannister.
But I've seen like where sons and daughters are taller than their parents.
I am taller than my dad.
I'm taller than my mom and almost not my dad's height obviously, but photos में दिखता है that I'm.
Okay, awesome.
So yeah, for women I think biggest green flag is emotional availability, empathy, sense of humor is good.
Right.
I mean, but
let's be honest. Come on, don't be so politically correct. You want all of this in a 6 foot, 6-pack guy with 6-figure salary.
No, not 6-pack. Because 6-pack is for the entire community. 6-pack तुम्हारे लिए नहीं बना है.
It's for the streets. It's for the streets.
6-pack तुम्हारी community के लिए बना है. 6 feet मिल जाए तो बहुत ही अच्छा, बट अब इन दिनों ना जब हम 20-21 साल के थे तब लगता था 6 feet. अब 25-26
पे है ना अभी है, इसलिए मैं पिलो रखा हूँ.
बट 25-26 पे लगता है कि 5'10" भी चल जाएगा.
5'10"? So okay, so
5'11".
it's 5'11". But this is the big pattern, right? It's like as you grow older, you tend to compromise more. It's a big pattern though. Like our list of requirements keeps shrinking as you get older, right?
मेरी
Keeps
तो
shrinking.
बहुत low standard.
Yeah. Now it's like बस लड़का है चलेगा.
जिंदा है.
जिंदा है. सांस ले रहा है done.
What are men insecure about? Size.
Yeah, most definitely. But like, let me say it. Many things though, not just size. I think men can be insecure about emotionality as well. Like, no one would want to be with a girl when they feel that her heart is still with her ex.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if her heart is with someone else, or if it's like.
But why would you be insecure about it? Like, that's a red flag, niklo.
But like, men can also be blind in love. And
अच्छा वो भी होता है. लोग तुमको भी होता है.
it works, yeah. And if you don't want to leave or you can't leave, or say for example, you're like, no, you know what, I'm going to
Extract that
not,
ex
not
off
even
me.
not even extract. I'm going to like light the fire of love in her heart, and I'm going to do all of that. But it never works, right? Because you could never do that. You could never do that. You can't light a piece of ice. So
That.
it's very personal to me.
Do you really want to know what's on our mind when you ask us?
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes.
Do you guys prefer to stay in touch throughout the day?
No.
Even I don't.
Absolutely not.
Even I don't.
How can you? I'm not in touch with myself throughout the day. yaar. I get lost sometimes in thought. I'm like, oh, I'm driving.
Yeah.
So it's like we ourselves are not in touch throughout the day, and how can you? And I've been in relationships where the female has been
Texting all day.
Texting all day. Initially, it's super exciting, right? It's like, you know, you're getting to
Know
like
someone.
every text is like, ooh,
Ooh.
yeah, the name,
Ooh,
right?
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like, again. So that transition from ooh to again is
कितना
like.
time लगता है उसमें? How much buffer time do we have?
I think it's like anywhere between
I think 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks to a month. 2 weeks on the shorter end, a month. A month
Yeah.
is like pushing it. After that, you can't. And for me personally, I think over time now that my dating pool has also aged, so have I. People understand that people
Yeah,
are
yeah.
busy. So the
Yeah, yeah.
response time, what used to be minutes, has now gone to hours,
Now
which is
it's
totally
moved for
fine.
days.
Days is like a bit of a red
Yeah.
flag.
Yeah, that
Because I think if you can't find 2 minutes in 24 hours, what are you running the country?
What if someone is doing that? Like, what if their response time is taking too long?
If
How
they
do-
live in a different time zone? or
No,
same
like, just like, they usually take too long, or sometimes, like, they're not very active on texting, but how do you tell them that, and it's someone you've just started, it's super new. You don't know how to say that, oh,
Yeah, I think I saw a meme on this, right? When you're just in a talking stage with someone and
yeah, talking stage,
just starting.
yeah, just the starting.
And it's like you
How
could
do you-
disappear for 3 days and they can't tell you anything because you're not
Yeah.
there yet. No message is also a message.
I'm not talking about 3 days.
Okay.
Your communication pattern is very different to mine.
Like I respond in hours, you respond in minutes.
It could be anything, yeah. Maybe that, or you're more into calling, I'm more into texting. But this is the initial days. How do we
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Yeah.
how do you tell them that, you know what, can you like really take out time out of your day and text me just for 2
Okay,
minutes?
let me ask you a counter question.
Yeah.
What's your hierarchy? I'm going to give you options. Calling, meeting, texting, voice notes. From best to worst, what's your hierarchy?
My personal hierarchy,
your
or like
personal
in
hierarchy.
general?
Calling, meeting, texting, voice notes. From top to bottom.
So if it's like quality time, would obviously be like meeting.
Okay.
Meeting, texting, calling, voice notes.
So voice notes is last.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
In terms of like
Yeah.
communication, like I would rather just like quickly hear back from you, right?
Okay, for me, it is
Voice note.
meeting first. Obviously, meeting is
Yeah.
the best. Like just lay together, not do anything. That's the best. Meeting, voice notes.
I know.
Voice notes.
Yeah.
Calling, and then texting. Because I think texting takes so much effort.
I think texting
And
takes
attention.
least effort.
No, it's like tuck 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 tuck. It's like voice note.
But when it comes to texting, I don't know my normal body, we don't have to put it. Like when I'm texting, I don't mean like texting all day, because I don't like texting all day. Also, I'm very conscious to not text dates, especially in the early stage of getting to know them or whatever, like not telling them too much about my day over text or like what's happening in my life, because I feel like when I see you, what will we talk about? You already know what happened throughout the week.
So when you're texting, right, it's not the intimate texting only happens late at night when you're alone with your thoughts. It doesn't happen when your manager is on your head and you're trying to finish your task. You're not like, oh, so then at that point, I feel voice notes are much better because you could quickly be like, whatever, you could pour your heart out. And it's like calling, but it's like convenient like texting. It's the best innovation that mankind has. Why not use it? But a lot of Gen Z people that I have seen in my socials hate voice notes. They absolutely hate voice notes. If you actually go to the subreddit of WhatsApp, you will see hordes of Gen Zs just saying delete the voice note feature. They hate receiving voice notes.
But they don't want to hear.
They don't like who takes out texting is easier, we'll just read it. So it is a huge disparity, and for us, I mean, at least for me, I love voice notes. It's like the convenience of texting, but the intimacy of calling.
I know, I've noticed that.
So it's just so simple.
But
right?
like, how do I tell the person that I am? Coming back to the point.
Well, coming back to the point, I think you communicate in your manner and they will. So, for example, I like voice notes, you like texting. I will respond to you in voice notes. And you notice what happened between us.
Yeah,
You started voice noting back to me. Because ultimately we settle in what is the best and most effective form of communication that will happen. So for example, if I had like, and sometimes I've noticed this with my dates as well, like I prefer voice notes and I'll send a voice note and I will not like be like, you should also send voice notes because that's not my space, of course. But one voice note, two voice note, maybe 4 voice notes later, they'll be like, fuck yeah, why am I texting? It is so much work.
Yeah.
Then they start reciprocating voice notes as well because I feel it's very non-invasive as well. Like when I can't be calling, when I'm calling someone, I'm invading their privacy.
Yeah.
Voice notes is like texting, but easier. But that's just me. Maybe what do you like? Tell me what do you like? You said you like calling. Sadly, your top priority after meeting was calling, right?
Yeah, because then you're actually talking to that person.
But in your situation, you cannot enforce that because that involves
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other
but
person.
no, like in the initial phases, it's always texting. It's
Okay.
only after I've gotten to know you
Right.
for a couple of weeks, months,
Right.
then we can move on to like calling. Then we
Fair.
don't need to text at all. If I've spoken to you once or twice,
Yeah. Then your text will be like calling you in 15 minutes. Those are your texts then.
could be, yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, like, I don't like those deep conversations over text
Right. Oh.
because so much is lost. Like, maybe I did not mean it that way, but तुमने ऐसा पढ़ा वो. You know what I mean? कई बार like, I think of it in a different. When you're saying something, it's very different, and when you're writing such a conversation, it's different.
I feel writing is deeper. And
I
writing
think
is
on
more
text,
intimate.
I love writing,
Yeah.
so I know. But I think sometimes the way someone is reading it, and कई बार ना sometimes you're looking at Netflix and you're looking at your phone.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
तो उसमें जो मैं बोलना चाह रही थी वो सही से तुम्हें समझ आया कि नहीं? Because you might also be doing 10 things. Probably your friend has come over and you both are just chilling.
And you're trying to
And
text.
you're
Yeah.
texting also. तो
Which
तुम्हारा
is
full
why-
time उसमें दिमाग नहीं है. And I don't like to text because then again like I'm like if you already know,
Yeah.
then what will we? मेरा ही crisis होता है. Like what will we talk about after we meet?
Which is why if you noticed, my qualifier was post 11 a.m. when you're all alone.
But 11 a.m. PM.
PM, sorry. PM.
11 p.m. you could be watching Netflix now.
Priorities, yeah. Do you want a guy or do you want suits? You want guy in suits, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's all about priorities. But try to communicate coming back to the question. I think communicate.
Will someone be put off if I say that? Like, will a man be put off if I say something like,
You want to call?
no, not call, like, we need to change our communication pattern. Like, you and I need to do something about this.
It depends on when you say it, and if you are really smart about the timeline. I don't think. I think if a guy is understanding enough, he will take an effort to like adapt and maybe find a common ground with you. Because sometimes generally a guy is busy. Like maybe they are like working 12 hours a day. They don't have time for calling. So it's like quick text and all. So I think it can be reached mutually. But yeah, more often than not, I think it's very hard. In the initial stages, it's very hard. You have to just go by like where the wind takes you. You can't try to like sail your
And
boat
that
in a
gives
particular
so
direction.
much anxiety to people.
Dating is hard. Who said it's easy?
Dating
It's
is
hard.
Love like a child. बड़ा उस time में love like a
Children
child.
don't care about all this. If they want to call, they'll call. So
They'll
just
bloody
call.
FaceTime you.
They'll be like pooping and they'll be like FaceTime. Go for that. So that holds though. Love like a child.
Now I still have like some those kind of questions, but I'm like, oh, one I think, one I want to, two I want to
Yeah,
ask.
bring it.
Do you mind if your girlfriend has a lot of guy friends?
It is very subjective. It is very subjective. I have dated people in the past. Like my one ex had only guy friends. She did not connect with girls for whatever reason. And I am someone who has only girlfriends. Like I have very less guy friends, right? So I can sort of understand it. I can get it. But at the same time, there are moments of insecurities when, like, say for example, drinking is involved or partying is involved, because sometimes you trust the person, but the situation is such that trust is irrelevant because you are not sane enough to make decisions. Like, you trust me as a driver. I'm an amazing driver. Would you sit in the car if I'm drunk? You still trust me,
Yeah.
but you know that I'm not capable of making the right decisions at that point. So trust is not a factor in that point. At that point, the situation is such that you just feel very helpless and very insecure. Ki, why is she putting me in a spot where I have to feel this insecurity? If I'm with you, okay, maybe that's different. But then again, I don't want to be the guy who wants to like
Fully protecting her.
or like going to every party that she goes to.
Yeah.
Like it's too much effort anyway. Like I don't want to be like around
Tagging
her.
along. And
Yeah.
like sometimes you also want to do your own.
Exactly. So I think I've seen like couples where like the girl would go out and get shit-faced drunk with her friends, and the boyfriend would have to come and pick her up. And I would say that that's a very irresponsible thing on the girl for the girl to do, because
Boyfriend नहीं हो तो कैसे जाएगी घर?
not only that, stuff has happened at the party, and the boyfriend only comes to know about it later.
Oh.
That's like so heart-wrenching, right? Like, यार
दिल में धप होता है ना.
yeah bro, it feels so bad. So I think it's the onus is on the individual to, like, it doesn't matter if, like, you're a girl and you have a lot of guy friends, like I'm a guy, I have a lot of girlfriends. The onus is on us individually to, like, make sure that we are taking care of our partner. I think it stems from that, like, we have to make sure that we are taking care of our partner emotionally, psychologically, and if that care is there, then I don't think I would want to go to a party with, like, you know, with all these females and get shit-faced drunk when I know that my partner is probably stressing at home.
Okay.
On the other end of the spectrum, you could say, oh no, be very secure about it. But then, as I said, right, there are situations that are helpless. You cannot control the situations. Just like how you
And एक बार थोड़ा तो होगा ही, like even if you trust.
You trust me fully.
Yeah.
But would you get in a car with me if I'm drunk?
Yeah.
You won't, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you. So that just sometimes situations are such that it requires an empathetic mindset to understand. It's not about freedom or security or independence. It's about empathy. It's about how much do I understand the other person's point of view, who's bichara sitting at home thinking if I'm okay, if I'm not.
Yeah.
And then I'll make a mistake and I'll tell him about the mistake. So it's like, yeah.
Okay. Another question which is very similar to this.
Okay.
Does my date really want to know if I'm seeing other people?
Depends on how serious they are about you.
As a man in general, do you really, अंदर जब तुम पूछते हो, do you really want to know the answer? The सच वाला answer?
I've dated casually, like I've dated seriously. And I've been in relationships. And those dating seriously and being in a relationship is also different, okay? It's not the same thing.
I don't know the difference.
I'll tell you. In casual relationships, I don't think I'm really bothered. I don't think I've really asked. Because I'm like, why ask something that is not relevant or not... like, only ask the questions you want to know the answer to.
Yeah, but like...
And I don't want to know the answer
right
to
now,
it.
I'm not asking Sid. I'm asking men.
Yeah, right. But I am me. I can
I
only
know
bring
that.
my perspective. So let's just try to extrapolate from that.
Okay.
And going...
Why do you think people ask that?
Well, I think people... It could come from the fact that you want to be possessive about the person. I don't think it's ever comes out from... Or it could come out from, like, being really serious about that person. Like, if you're trying to take it to the next step, then you sort of casually be like, Acha, so how's it going? How are your other dates going? You know, slide it in. But more often than not, in a casual dating sphere, I think, it could also come from, like, people just being a little wary about people sleeping with multiple people.
Yeah.
So that is also a factor. So I think safety, or people trying to get serious, or possessiveness. I think these are the three biggest factors that make people pop this question open. But I mean, there are solutions to all of them, and I think...
What do you think is the ideal answer? And don't say be honest. What do you think is the ideal answer?
Depends on what you want from the guy or the girl. If a girl asks me, am I seeing other people, and I know that she and I have just a very what do you say, like, we're not very serious about each other, and it's we know it's not going to go anywhere, and we have decided. So it also depends on what you've decided.
अभी कुछ decide ही नहीं हुआ है ना?
Right, अभी कुछ decide नहीं हुआ है. Okay, that's interesting.
तभी तो.
That's interesting.
Where do we stand? We don't know. पूछ रहे हैं लेकिन.
That could be a way of her to ask me where do we stand actually. When she asked me that, yeah. I think I would want to know her answer. There's no way to know, right? I would want her to be truthful, and then I would answer it. You know, it's a little icky. But if I'm just going out on dates, I don't think I'm gonna tell her that, because we're casual. And
So you won't tell her?
I won't tell her.
You'll just be like, I'm not going.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't think it makes any difference. But if I, for example, sleep with someone, or if I'm going to,
then I think you should.
Then
I think it's something you should disclose.
Then I will. But I think going on dates is harmless. Why? I don't think I'm accountable in a casual setting to let her know about my date.
Of course not.
Especially when we have not set up that boundary. As you said, we have not decided whether we're going to tell her or not. So if we have not decided, then in that situation, I wouldn't.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people are asking, because you get this question. I mean, I get this question pretty often from.
Well, as long as you're not
guys
risking anyone's safety.
No, of course.
Then
You don't you know me? कुंडी लगा के सोते हैं अपन. कुंडी लगा के सोते हैं.
यहाँ पे लड़का सोता है, वहाँ पे आप सोते हो.
हम बाहर सोने को तैयार हैं. तुम अंदर कमरे में बंद होने चाहिए. If it's the first date, then I don't care. Like, if
Okay.
someone asks, like, how was your other dates? Like, I'm like, yeah, okay, I went here, I did that.
Threesome
First date, I do
threesome
not give a
करके आ रही
shit.
हूँ.
First date,
दिख रही है.
तेरी भी दिख रही है. If it's the first date, I don't care.
Okay.
Second, also, I might reveal
I think
that
first five.
information.
I think 5 dates rule. 5 dates rule. 5 is like an ideal amount. Yeah. Now, if your 5 dates takes 5 months, that's on you. If it takes a week, that's also on you. But 5 dates is a good starting point to like try to figure out how much accountability you have towards this person and how much do you want from this person, and to start setting like boundaries.
Yeah, 5 I think is a good
5
number.
is a good number. It's a great number. 3 is like too less. 3 ke niche to is like you're just playing the fool.
Yeah, yeah.
4 is like, who the fuck? 4? Who chooses 4? Are you a psychopath? So 5. Just like ideally. Makes sense, right?
It's a good one.
All well.
Last question.
We now have the last question for this podcast.
Who's teaching the men? Who? Because you go on Instagram, you go on TikTok, you'll find lots of like dating coaches who are all only coaching women. This episode is also about like telling women.
Yeah.
Who's talking to the men? Who's teaching men? Who's teaching men?
That bald chauvinist guy who got jailed.
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate, yes. There's another one, Peter Jordison. Another guy who's like, those are the guys that guys listen to.
Yeah.
Guys, don't listen to Bruno Mars. You know, I'll catch a grenade for you.
Yeah.
They
Why
don't-
not? Why not? That's so. That's how you get. Like,
I wish. I mean, I did.
but like, who's teaching the men? I genuinely want to know like where.
The She Ready podcast is teaching the men.
But we haven't done anything on that yet. Like
Yeah,
we
we
need to.
should,
I
we
think we should now like educate
The younger generation.
men.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should teach men now.
Things that men should be doing right. And now the podcast comes to an end.
Well, I hope you guys like it. If you enjoyed it, please let us know. Please come to our Instagram and tell us.
Like, share.
My Instagram is @SheReadyPodcast. Please like, share, subscribe, do the whole thing. And if you want to listen to us again, just give us a shout.
Give her amazing responses, so I'm invited again. I had a lot of fun recording this.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
I did. I was nervous in the starting, but right in the end, I was like, maybe after the first 10 minutes, I was in my element. Then it became a conversation rather than anything else, and I think that's what brings out the raw elements out of it.
You can find us on Instagram @SheReadyPodcast. I post a lot of behind the scenes stuff, bloopers, and sometimes fun memes. You can email me at shereadypodcast@gmail.com. Please rate and review, and if you do like my content, please subscribe. Thank you for tuning in and see you next week.